What is going on? It's your girl C-Positivista. Welcome to another video. So in this video, I am currently at the hospital. I'm getting an iron infusion. This is for all my anemic girlies. In this video, I want to talk about health, specifically women's health. Simply because I'm a woman and I've had some health complications myself, and I just thought, let's talk about this. So something that I've been dealing with for a very long time in terms of, like, you know, my womb and my uterus, it's been menorrhagia, which is heavy periods, heavy bleeding. I recently had a hysteroscopy, which was to essentially look inside of my uterus, my organs, my reproductive system, and see if there's anything within there. And with that, I was put to sleep. So I was under general anesthetic, simply because so many women that I spoke to were in pain when they had theirs as an outpatient. So make sure you're doing your research. Like, when it comes to things with your health, make sure you're doing your research. Personally, since last year, I created like a health folder for myself. So it's literally just a plastic like this, right? And every single letter that I've received from the doctors, I have literally just put them within the folder. You don't, it just has to be like, you start bit by bit and you're building a folder, a health folder for yourself. It's not just pregnant women that need to have a health folder. Every woman needs to have a health folder, especially any woman that's going through that's going through endometriosis, that's going through fibroids, that's going through PCOS, anything to do with the womb, like anything to do with that, so that once you do get to that place where you're now pregnant, when you go and see your midwife, when you go and see your nurses, you're able to say to them, look, this is what I've been going through, and you know the words, you know how to pronounce them, you know what they are. And yes, doctors can say we've got this under file, but other things they might not have on file. I've gone to the doctors and I've spoken to doctors and they're like, oh, that's not on file. And I'm like, yeah, I had that scan this date of last year, and I've been able to pull up the files and say, okay, this is what it was, this is what happened, this is what I did. And that wasn't even within their files. So make sure that you have your own files. Make sure you're creating your own files. And I've recently downloaded the NHS app, and it's literally, when you go into the app, it's gonna have like your name, your NHS number. You need to know your NHS number. You need to know your patient number. These things are important, right? So it's gonna have that. And then within the app, you've got, when you click on messages, you've got like all the different letters. Like, you've got like all the different letters sent to you. You can choose to print it. I choose to print mine. I want to see the physical copy. Just download the NHS app. With the app, whenever they, because sometimes when you have an appointment, if they send you a letter, by the time the letter reaches your house, the date of the appointment is gone. So it's better if you're on the NHS app, just register. It's so easy. Just register within the app, and then you're going to be receiving, like, if they book you an appointment at the hospital, you can even connect it to your GP as well. Like, you can even connect it to your GP. I've not connected it to my GP yet because I don't know how to do it. I'm going to figure out how to do it. But whenever I get like letters or anything from the hospital, I get it right here. I receive it here. To be honest, I receive it here before I receive it on my email, or before I receive it through post. So make sure you're on top of it. Make sure that you're creating that paper trail for yourself. Be knowledgeable. Research about your health. Research about whatever it is that they've diagnosed you with. Don't just take the diagnosis, well, you know, they said that I have this, and it's like, do your own research. How do you want to go about in terms of treatment? And I shared this in my previous video where I said, you know, when I was preparing, you know, to have the surgery, the procedure, the hysteroscopy, I went to do my own research. I went to look at videos on how they're doing the procedure, because I would be sleeping. I would be under general anesthetic. My legs will be wide open. These people are inserting something within my vagina. It's my vagina. That's my sacred. Yo, that's my pom pom. That is my pom pom, and they're going in there. So it was important for me to really understand what they were gonna use, how it was gonna work, and I also went to see, like, in the comment sections, to see if women are saying anything. And so many women were like, oh my gosh, like, I had this procedure, but I was wide awake and it was so painful. And I spoke to a few women around me and they were like, yeah, I had it as well, it was so painful. I was then able to make an informed decision and say, listen, I know I can't handle pain, so guess what, I'm gonna go under the general anesthetic, because that's the best route for me personally. However, you've got some people that don't even, the idea of them being put to sleep is scary. So you have to do your research. You have to know what it is that you have. And what is the alternative? Always ask your doctors, what's the alternative? What else can I do? What else can I take? You know, when I was first diagnosed with this, there was really nothing they could offer me. There was nothing they could offer me. Nothing, absolutely nothing that they could offer me. There was nothing. It was either, you know, being put on a they were like, we can either insert a coil or we can put you on the pill. And I said, what's that for? They said to regulate your hormones because of the heavy bleeding, because menorrhagia is heavy periods. And I said to them, but I don't bleed heavily every month. It's even rare that it happens. So why would I put something that would regulate, that would take control of my body, that would take control of my hormones, just to control a period that only comes heavy, like maybe every 3 months? And to be honest, it's only heavy if I had been stressed the previous month. So it's almost like it comes backdated, where it's like, well, last month you were very stressful. Last month you boss bitched a bit too heavily. So this month you're gonna have to pay for it a little bit, you know? So there wasn't really that conversation in terms of the alternative. There wasn't that conversation in terms of like dietary. That's something I had to go out and do by myself, research. And again, this is not to speak bad about the NHS. Like, don't get me wrong, I had really good treatment. I had a really good treatment. I've got a vlog that has already come out, and where I spoke about where I spoke about my treatment, you know, and I had a really good treatment. The nurses were nice. Everyone was so nice. Everyone was so nice. However, there were some hiccups here and there where I had been booked for a particular appointment and they didn't send me a letter confirming said appointment. So I went to get an iron infusion, and they were like, okay, go to the gynecology. Like, so I had a gynae appointment. So they called me and they said, okay, so you've got an appointment with a gynecologist. Cool, that's fine. They sent me a letter for that. I had another call where they said, oh, hey, we've noticed that we've got here on your system that you've gotten a gynae appointment for this particular day. Yeah. How do you feel about coming to have your iron infusion on the same day? I said, great, 2 birds, 1 stone. Great. But they didn't tell me where to go. They didn't send me no letter. They didn't confirm. So that day when I went to see the gynecologist, I was talking to them about this iron infusion and they knew nothing about it. because it was a totally different department. So make sure that you, when you speak to these people, you ask for things in writing. Make sure you have it in writing. Once they send it to you, once they put it on the system, it's gonna come through on your app. It's going to come through on your app. And then print it out if you can, and then add it to your medical file, right? Create a medical file for yourself. And I've also got my little first aid kit that I walk around with, you know, and within my first aid kit, it's just like, you know, just little, you know, girly stuff, like, you know, my period pads, and then, you know, like if I have any pain, personally, like I said, I don't get any, I've said this in previous videos, I don't get period pains. Like, period pain, what's that? I don't. And some people are like, damn, you don't get period pain? I don't. But, you know, I make sure that I have like my Spartan shots for my iron. I make sure that I have like my iron tablets, things like that, you know, where I might go somewhere, I feel tired, my iron tablets are there. Make sure you're on top of it. It's your health. And advocate for yourself. Make sure you're advocating for yourself. You're speaking up for yourself. Not just whatever the doctor said. Yes, doctor. Yes, doctor. Yes, of course. They're, you know, they're professionals and they've studied and whatever and they know their stuff. But guess what? It's your body. Your body, your womb, your uterus, your vagina. It's yours, not theirs. Take ownership of it. Take ownership of your vagina. Take ownership of your uterus, of your womb. I'm now speaking about my spiritual women, right? I'm speaking about my spiritual women. I don't know what you do. I don't, in terms of like spiritually, I don't know if you're a prayer warrior. I don't know if you meditate. I don't know, whatever you do to center yourself, whatever you do to bring yourself to bring yourself back to this grounded place. Pray for your womb. Pray for your uterus. Pray for your reproductive system. Because guess what? Guess what? The system is designed to attack your uterus. The system is designed to attack your womb. The system is designed to attack your reproductive system. So stay prayed up. Stay prayed up. Right? I don't have children yet. And yes, I want children in the future. And yes, I'm going to have children in the future. However, there are some things that need to be put in place prior to that. Making sure that I understand what's this? What is it? You know, what's going on within my body? How do I manage this? Am I eating right? Am I looking after myself? All of that goes hand in hand. Thank you for watching this video. I'll see you on the next one. Take care of yourself. Look after yourself. Love on yourself. Fill your own cup up before you can give others.